We are going to do a demonstration where we will show a cluster of Dgraph, and we'll show how one of the members of the cluster, when shut down and restarted, always receives the latest snapshot. So let's get started. We have Rattle running at port 8000. We have a Dgraph 0, which is started with a replica count equal to 3. This means that the 3 alphas that we're going to start, they are all going to belong to the same group. So let's do that. Here is the first alpha, the second, and here's the third. Please note that we are starting this alpha with a higher log level for the query logs. So we should see what this third alpha is doing a little more clearly. Great. I think all the alphas are started. We can confirm this in the cluster. Here we go. Right, looks good. Now we will run the Dgraph increment tool. The Dgraph increment tool introduces a new predicate, counter.val, to the cluster, and this particular instruction increases this counter 10 times. Please note that this instruction is hitting the gRPC port of the first alpha, which is 9080. We can go and query this. So first, as you can see, that the counter.val is a part of this group now. And we can also see that in the query, the value comes out to be 10. Great, so we've got a cluster running, we've got some data populated. Now let's simulate some failure and a restart. So I'm now going to kill the third alpha. Let's confirm that the third alpha is indeed down by going to the cluster. It's down. We still have quorum, so we've got the cluster running, right? So the value is still available. Now what we'll do is we will add or increase the counter val by a little bigger number. Let's say 50. This is to ensure that the counter.val is now drifting away from what the third alpha had it with itself. So the last value, if you remember, was 20, or rather it was 10, and now we've added 50 more. So now the value is actually 60, right? Now please remember that the third alpha is down, but while the value was 10 earlier, now if I run this query again, it's 60, which means the value has certainly changed. Now what we will do is start the third alpha, and then let us fire the increment to the third alpha directly to make sure that the third alpha now sees the latest value of counter val. Let's see how it works. So we started this, right? Looks like the third alpha is up. We can reconfirm that in the cluster. Yes, it's up. Now let us try to fire a increment, but this time the increment will be fired directly at the gRPC port of the third alpha, which is 9082, right? Great. Looks like the value has incremented, but has it incremented from the first, second, or the third alpha? It looks like the third alpha indeed got the query. So here's the mutation right here. And it looks like the third alpha indeed received the value of 60 based on the previous state and then increased it to 61. And now if we go to the console, we should see the value 61, right? So the third alpha has, it got shut down, it came back up, and it is smoothly a part of the cluster again. Thank you.